What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to go through 3 envelopes that I recently got back and kind of tell you about the profiles of the individuals that signed for me. So, this first one is returned from former New York Met infielder Keith Miller on 1, 2, 3, and a 4th as a Kansas City Royal. Keith Miller was born in Michigan, attended Bay City High School in Michigan, but later went to Oklahoma and attended Oral Roberts University to play baseball. He was originally drafted in the 24th round by the Indians before college, but elected instead to go to college instead of playing professionally for the Indians. Well, the strange thing that I was able to figure out was that he was actually drafted in the second round of the 1984 draft out of Oral Roberts by the Yankees. However, he chose not to sign with the Yankees and instead signed as a minor league free agent with the New York Mets. I'm not too certain what happened there, but regardless, he signed with the Mets, and he found himself in 1985 playing his first season with the Mets in Single A and Double A. Well, the following year, 1986, he was promoted to Double A for the entire season, and in 1987, he was in Triple A, but later got called up in the season, June, to make his major league debut. Primarily a second baseman, he played also third base a little bit and a little bit of the outfield during his career, kind of filling in as a utility player his entire career. He played for the Mets in a utility role all the way up until 1991, but in 1992 he signed with the Kansas City Royals and wound up appearing in 106 games for the Royals in the 1992 season. Well, in 1993, he returned with the Royals. However, he had a very poor start to the season and was later demoted to AAA and spent the next couple years, all the way through 1995, going up and down between AAA and the majors with Kansas City. He actually didn't play the entire 1995 season, and he was released in May by the Royals, despite only appearing in 9 games and having a batting average of .333. So I'm not sure if maybe an injury issue came up and that's why they released him. Really not too certain on that. However, it also says on his Wikipedia page that after he retired from the game, he actually became an agent. And I would assume that that's what he's doing now, still to this day, working as an agent in baseball. So this is the first time I've ever gotten Mr. Miller's autograph. Very happy to get him in these nice blue Sharpie signatures. I was a little concerned about this one, that if it wasn't signed in blue or black Sharpie, it may not have shown up really well, but I think it shows up pretty nice despite the dark background, and very happy to add those to the collection. Alright, so the next one is actually another second baseman, glove type player, and that is Jose Lind on 1, 2, 3, and a 4th on his 1988 Donruss rookie card. Lind, a Puerto Rican native, signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates as a minor league free agent in December of 1982. The following spring in 1983, the 19-year-old Lind found himself in rookie ball for the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. Lind would stay in the minor leagues from 83 all the way until 1987, when he finally got his call up to the major leagues, appearing in 35 games for the Pittsburgh Pirates and batting a solid .322 in those 35 games. Well, the following season in 1988, second base was Jose Lind's position to play, and with superb defensive abilities, Lind batted .262 in his first full season in the majors. Lean would remain with the Pirates all the way through 1992 and be an integral part of the Pirates' playoff runs during that time period. Also in 1992, Jose Lean would win a Gold Glove award, which would be the only Gold Glove that he would win throughout his career. Well, after the 1992 season, the Pittsburgh Pirates decided to trade Jose Lean to the Kansas City Royals for a couple minor league pitchers. Well, he spent, I don't have any Royals cards here, but I know I have some somewhere in my collection. He spent the next few seasons with the Royals, but in July of 1995, during mid-season, the Royals decided to release Lean. Lean would sign with the California Angels after being released by the Royals, however would not finish the year and was released on August 31st of 1995 by the Angels as well. His time with the Angels would prove to be the last season that Lean would spend in the major leagues. Lean would, however, resurface a few years later, coaching in the Independent League, the Atlantic League, for the Bridgeport Bluefish. However, this was a very short tenure, and after this, Lean returned to his native Puerto Rico. As of right now, I'm not really sure what Lean does in Puerto Rico. I would assume that he's probably affiliated somewhere in baseball in Puerto Rico. I'm not going to talk about his off-field problems. You can definitely look him up and find, about some of the issues that he had as a player off the field, but I'm not going to elaborate on that. I'm very happy to add Mr. Lean's autograph to my collection, and also another 1990 Donruss apparently, because Miller had a 90 Donruss there as well. All right, so this final one was postmarked from Kansas City. And this is actually one of my favorite players from that era. And that is Jim Eisenreich on a 1990 Donruss. So 390 Donruss on 2, 3, and 4. Growing up in Minnesota and attending high school, Eisenreich was able to also attend college at St. Cloud State University, also in Minnesota. Well, the hometown Minnesota Twins drafted Eisenreich in the 16th round out of college in the 1980 MLB draft. Well, after the draft, Eisenreich immediately started playing in the minor leagues at 21 years old and appeared in 72 games between rookie ball and single A. Well, the following year, in 1981, he also started the year in single A and batted an impressive .311 that season. Well, in 1982, he made his major league debut for the Twins and only appeared in 34 games as a part-time player, batting .303 during that time period. From 1982 to 1986, Eisenreich had some off-field issues with Tourette's syndrome. And I don't want to call them off-field issues, but he was unable to play because of his Tourette's syndrome condition. And finally, in 1987, the Royals gave him an opportunity to come back to baseball after he was out of baseball for a few years. Well, in Double A, Eisenreich immediately returned, batting over .380 that year. Well, later in the year, the Royals called him up, and he appeared in 44 games in '87. He would start the year out in 1988 as well in Double A. However, he would have a call-up and would split the season between the majors and the minors for the Royals. Well, in 1989, he won a full-time role and appeared in 134 games for the Royals and batted an impressive .293 that season. Eisenreich would spend all the way through 1992 with the Royals and would put together some pretty solid seasons playing the outfield for the Royals. Well, after the '92 season, Eisenreich decided to sign as a free agent with the Philadelphia Phillies. Eisenreich would be one of the leaders for the Phillies to help them go to the World Series in 1993. Eisenreich would spend the next 4 seasons with Philadelphia, and during that time period would bat an impressive .324 during his tenure with the Phillies. Well, the Phillies decided that they no longer needed the services of Eisenreich, and so at 36 years old, he left again to go to sign with the Florida Marlins. Little did Eisenreich know that he would eventually win his first World Series ring at the age of 38 years old while playing for the then Florida Marlins, who are now the Miami Marlins. Well, many of you know that after the Marlins won the World Series, they dismantled that team and traded away a lot of their players going into the 1998 season. Well, May of 1998, along with Bobby Bonilla, Charles Johnson, and Gary Sheffield, Eisenreich was traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers for Mike Piazza and Todd Zeile. Eisenreich would finish out the year with the Dodgers and then retire from baseball at the age of 39 years old. So this is a pretty inspirational story about somebody that was diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome and was able to take back his career after he thought it was over. So very inspirational. Mr. Eisenreich relocated after his career back to the Kansas City area, and he now runs a nonprofit organization assisting youth with Tourette's syndrome. So thank you very much, Mr. Eisenreich. I really appreciate adding your autograph to my collection. I have also appreciate adding Mr. Lind to my collection, and of course Mr. Miller as well. I want to thank you, the viewer, for taking the time to view another episode, and I look forward to your comments below.